Good stuff. All right, so hopefully everybody's doing swell. Glad to have you guys back in the building. Now we can finish up. This is our last week of this particular unit of the periodic table unit. However, you guys have taught most of yourselves the information, so I'm glad to have at least half of you back so we can see how you're doing before we do take the test on Friday. So let's talk a little bit to get us going here. Everybody should have watched all the lecture videos, so we can talk about what that would look like here. So remember, here is our schedule for the unit. So we had periodic table notes that just talked about alkali metals, transition metals, the main big blocks of the periodic table. And then you had two other notes for this unit. It was kind of short on like notes because we had a lot of no school days in there. Still haven't had a full week of school yet, but that's okay. We'll get there next week. Periodic table trends, they get bigger, they get smaller, all that kind of good stuff. So you should watch that. And then the electron configuration reading right off the periodic table, which was quite challenging. So hopefully you guys read that as well, or watched that as well. So if you feel like you watched all of those, does anybody, I guess I should open up for any questions first. All right, hopefully we're going to probably get into those if you do. A couple things. The test for this unit is at the end of this week. So looking here, we're going to do a logical reasoning puzzle, kind of like we did on last Wednesday. However, I gave you like 0 time to do it. So if you didn't get number 2 done, that's fine. We're going to do one in class today. Tomorrow, use your review sheet. I'm actually going to change this. Oh, I can't write that. For you guys, cohort B, you guys never got to do the flame test. So I'm going to go ahead and bust that flame test back out. Those of you at home do not have to do anything on the 21st. Consider an extra day to study. And then we do have our Unit 5 periodic table test will be on this Friday. You will have to use your periodic table. I usually pass out a test one and then collect it, but we're not collecting papers right now. So you will want your periodic table ready to go for that test on Friday. Okay, and it's just over everything from this semester. Okay, perfect. So that's kind of where we're headed there. So what we're going to work on today, if you would get into your packet, it says logical reasoning puzzle number 3. If you find that it's a nice way kind of for you to study. If you didn't do number 2 is also there. The other thing besides that, so again, you're always just going along. We're in week 20 now. If you would like the key is in the folder, but I highly suggest against it. The other thing I want you to make sure you do today are the logical reasoning puzzle lecture questions. The lecture questions for today, quite simply, what we did was we took pretty much the most missed questions last week and we turned them into lecture questions. Like most people got the size trend wrong. Okay, so we did that. The reactivity trend wrong. So by the end of the period, you guys are going to do your 3 lecture questions for sure. And those are the most missed things from the last quiz that we took, so that hopefully we can refresh them one more time. Okay, so let's do this very, very quickly. Hopefully everybody, if you have your blank periodic table, it might help. You might have it still in your packet. You might have pulled it out, whatever you want. But the alkali metals, the alkaline earth metals, transition metals down here are the rare earth metals. Metalloids are on the stair step. Halogens are in group 7, and the noble gases are in group 8. So hopefully you remember those things. You'll need that for the puzzle today as well. And then as far as the trends go, I wrote this like 15 times. Here we go. For size, remember they get bigger going down because you get more and more and more and more electrons. And they get smaller going across because the nucleus pulls harder on the electrons and flexing it in. As far as side, the metals are positive. The nonmetals tend to become negative, and we're going to go further into that in the next unit. Then talking about reactivity, the most reactive metals we have is group 1, then group 2, then these kind of transition to nonmetals. Down here, these are rarely found on Earth. Okay. Then your most reactive nonmetals are the halogens, but group 8 are what are called inert. They never react. Never, never. Okay. The last trend, I think, also with reactivity, you get more reactive as you go down the metals, and you get more reactive as you go up the nonmetals. Okay. And the last trend we did was read your valence electrons, which are the only electrons used in bonding. They're electrons in the outermost energy level, and it's just the group number. Everything in group 1 has 1 valence electron, 2 valence electrons, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's one exception. Over here in group 8, helium has himself only 2 valence electrons. Okay, so if you can kind of refresh your mind with all that business, that was everything in like 30 seconds, you should be feeling good for this logical reasoning puzzle. In the logical reasoning puzzle, just like we did last week, I'll give you a really quick rundown on how to do it. Okay, if you did it last week, this should be easy for you. E, C, and F are in a group together. Remember, groups go up and down and have similar chemical and physical properties. R, L, B, and T are in the same group. You have to figure out where they go in this puzzle. So it says A has the valence electron configuration that ends in P1. So the first thing I'm going to look is I see Z and an A come together. Z and an A. And they end in P1. I know this is the S block. This is the P block. This would be P1. So I got to put, I'm going to say N, Z, and now I can't remember. N, Z, and A must go in group 3 somewhere. And as you do more of the clues, it will kind of tell you exactly where to put them. B is an inert gas. That means he doesn't react. So R, L, B, and T must be a noble gas. Okay, just read it and I can't remember it. All of us are having a struggle bus. R, L, B, and T. Okay, so as you go through, you should eventually figure out where each of these letters go. So it's just the alphabet, okay, and they go in these blocks. Like I said, the key is up there. The main objective I want to do today is I would like to check in with everybody, see where everybody is at, make sure everybody knows what we're doing. We'll do the review sheet tomorrow. We'll do a lab on Thursday. We'll take a test on Friday. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to check in with the people at home so that they can get what they need, and then they can get going. And then I'll come around and check and see how you guys are doing as well. So hopefully it's good.